Welcome back. Hey, what's happening? Good to see you again. Galaxy Watch 6, I wanted to give you guys a quick overview of what's happening here at my end. I wanted to give you guys something really valuable in terms of what is going on. And let me see, can you hear me? Let me see. That is important. I need to make sure, I'm sorry guys, I need to make sure I'm not. Yeah, I think you can see and hear me, so let me know if you can. Yeah, greetings from Hanover. Yeah, I'm based in Munich, Hassan, that's pretty cool. Yep, cool, excellent. Sorry if this is a bit choppy at first, but it will get better, I promise. It will get better. So let me just go into this quickly. What I want to do today is I want you to vote. I have a whole bunch, I have 10 points that I collected over the past 4 to 8 weeks from you guys in order to see what is on your wish list for the Galaxy Watch 6. So what I'm doing always when you guys give me that feedback, I collect that feedback. I do a lot of surveys on the community page as well, and I pass it on to Samsung. You know what? If we don't try, we don't know if it's going to work, right? So we're going to vote today for which points, for which improvements you would like to see the best, the most, and what have you. So let me see who's there. Akash, nice to see you again. Patrick FX, Daniel, yeah, läuft alles cool, loud and clear in Gloucester, UK. I used to live in the UK. I used to enjoy the UK very, very much. Greetings from Munich, cool. I used to live in London and Newcastle upon Tyne. That was a pretty much interesting experience. Sorry, guys, let's get on. I want you to put down, I'm gonna give you all the options, the main options I collected. At the end, you can then also let me know what you want to see at the Galaxy Watch 6, right? So I collected in 10 main points. Press 1 when your point comes up. Press 1 for yes and 2 for no, you don't care, you don't want to see this. So I'm going to start here. A lot of people say we want a new chipset, a better processor, a faster UI, faster performance, faster everything in terms of experience. So if you agree with that, and that is what you want to see at the Samsung Galaxy Watch 6, please press number 1. If you don't care about this, then please press number 2. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you vote so I can then basically collect it all and put it into percentage and say, okay, 50% agreed, 50% disagreed, or 80-20, whatever comes out, that is what I'm going to pass on. So the next one is, that's also on the list. So the first one was better processor, new chipset, faster animations, faster everything. 1 for yes, 2 for no. You don't give a, you don't care, right? I can't swear. Number 2 is better sensors. There's a lot of people who said heart rate tracking, that is not really cool. Sleep tracking is off, calorie tracking is off. So 1, if you agree with that statement. 2, you don't really care because some people, you know, say at the end of the day, a sensor on your Galaxy Watch or on any smartwatch really is, you know, I don't know what they pay. I don't know, it's like $10 or something, or maybe a bit more in terms of, you know, how accurate can that be, right? So let me know. 1, for better sensors. Yes, that would be pretty cool. 2, you don't care. So let's move on. I don't want to waste your time. It is Sunday. One of my favorite and one of your favorite, physical rotating bezel. Let me know, is this something? I've just done a survey on a community section, and a lot of people say, yeah, I want to have that physical rotating bezel back. I like that. You know what? I personally also like the physical rotating bezel. It's kind of, I know that from a company point of view, you kind of see, okay, you have this vision or you have this option and say, okay, the less mechanical parts, the less can go wrong. But at the end of the day, you have to please your customers, right? So 1 for yes, you agree, 2 for no. Let's move on. Number 4, that's an interesting one. That was one of the rumors that came along, blue glucose monitoring for anybody who has diabetes, yes, thank you, Akash, +1 for me. Very, very well said. Is that something you want to see, or is it something, I mean, you know what? I mean, there's a form of diabetes that, I mean, I don't know if there's diabetes, I'm not an expert, right? So, but you can have, what I know is you can have diabetes, and you basically, you don't know. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. You may be thirsty at night, or you feel certain things, but you don't know what it is. And if you have something like that built in, it could actually, I don't want to go as far as save your life, but it could actually make a difference and say, okay, maybe, I should go to a doctor. So if that is something you agree with, 1 for yes, 2 for no. Let's move on. Number 5, no overheating. Oh my God, is this a big topic? And you know what? I have several videos actually out for this. And I remember when I got the Galaxy Watch 4, I was the one who went into the woods and made all these calls first. I want to be patting my own back here. No, but I'm I saw all the comments and people say, look, this is overheating. So I'm going out as far as I can, and had a low signal, and it started with overheating, and there's several fixes came out. And it's not just, it is especially for the LTE, but it's also for when you have the GPS version or the Bluetooth version, and you connect your headphones to that, then it's kind of, it can also overheat. It doesn't have to be LTE. So if you have your headphones connected, your Galaxy Buds or Buds Pro, and then you listen to Spotify, even if it's downloaded to your watch, then it can still overheat, right? So 1 for yes. I kind of sense that we all agree that, overheating shouldn't really be happening at this time in age and what have you. So let's move on. Number 6. Oh, better health. So there's a lot of people who say, okay, I want a better platform, a better health platform in terms of, okay, Samsung Health is not really what I'm looking for, or it could be improved. So let me know, is that something you care about? Are you happy with Samsung Health? A lot of people, I'm happy with Samsung Health. I'm okay with it. The data that gives me, the way it structures, I can kind of, configure to my liking if you like. So that is okay with me. Let me know. 1 for yes, I want better health, and 2 for no. I can see Thomas. Thomas is here, my good friend. He's also part of this live stream, which is pretty cool. Welcome, Thomas. Let's move on. Number 7, feature availability. That's a big thing. That's especially for the people that are based in the US. And, I've done that live stream a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, where basically the FDA is almost there for approving the blood pressure feature in the US. So what that means, and hands down to Apple. Apple is good with this, because what they're saying is, okay, we have these features coming out in these countries on the XYZ of April, August, whatever, and then after that in different countries. So Samsung is not really good at that. They say, okay, we come out with a temperature sensor, and when you really look at the small print and you enhance it by 1,000%, because you can't read it, it's so small, you can then actually see it may not be available in your country, and it probably will not be available in your country, right? So people have to wait, and I understand that there are legislation and there is government agencies who want to put their foot down and so on. But you know what? It has to be, I don't know, that has to be fixed. I think we all agree that it has to be more visible with people, right? So 1 yes, 2 no. I think we all agree on that one here. Next one is an interesting one, better choice of apps. And that is kind of that's what happens when you have a collaboration, which goes both ways with Google and Samsung in terms of, what will Google provide with Wear OS? What will Samsung provide with One UI, and so on and so on. So Gmail would be nice, WhatsApp native. Telegram was there at first, it was there, and then suddenly it disappeared, right? So what is happening here? We don't know. And it's also it's up to the application developers, to the developer, or to Telegram, for example, in order to make this available again for Wear OS, right? So it's kind of, we want to have all these native applications. We don't want to have like 15 workarounds or download something from XDA developers in order to make this work. No, we don't want to do this, right? We want to really have this stuff going on. So better choice of apps, I think we all agree. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Number 9, excuse me, is a better operating system. Wear OS, I think Wear OS increased in terms of being more stable, more fluid. I like the way it's been structured. Honestly, I was really excited when it came out. As you can tell, when the Galaxy Watch 4 came out, and it was the first time you had Wear OS and Tizen was gone, and I kind of thought, okay, this is like, this could really open up everything. Like, you know, it kind of does, but we're not there yet, and it has a huge potential. That's what I know, and that's what I can see, a massive potential. You know, it kind of ties into number 8, a better choice of apps. It has to be more fluid. Some people say they want the Galaxy Store back. I don't know. I think that would be confusing, but I wanted to put this on. So yes, for if you agree, and then 2 for no. Now that's the big one. The big one is coming up now. Are you ready? I think this is the one we all agree on, right? Yes, better battery life. Oh my God, this is something. 1 for yes, you agree. So put it down. The more, the better. 2 for no. I'm not sure there's anybody who's not agreeing with that, but better battery life, you know. And here, so the funny thing here is, it's not even funny, but the interesting thing is, when I see all your comments in terms of battery life, the interesting thing here is that there's a lot of people who don't have an issue with battery life, but there's also a lot of people who have issues with battery life of their Galaxy Watch. And that is kind of strange, right? It's almost like, okay, so yes, I understand that when you set up your Galaxy Watch, it will also kind of learn your pattern, right? It will learn how you deal. Do you have always on display? We know that Google Assistant is taking a lot of juice, a lot of stuff from your battery. We know all of that. So that's, but then some people say, no, I'm good. I have 2 days and I have it all enabled. And other people say, well, I can't get through the day with my battery. So what is going on here, right? So this is the interesting part. And there's only, you know what, there's only, because it's so small, Galaxy, like any smartwatch, is so small that you kind of say, okay, there's only so much capacity in terms of battery you can throw at it. And again, you know, what Apple is good at is because they have this optimization between software and hardware going on, right? And that's what Samsung needs to do in order to get to the battery life we want to get to, right? So Wear OS has to be better optimized for the Galaxy Watch and the chipset that is included, and that's the key, right? You cannot. There's only so much battery you can increase. Really, you have to make sure it is all optimized. So let me see, Patrick, what do you say? With the Tizen watches, the watch face had shimmer and reflection animation. If you title the watch, I think it's really bad now because they didn't implement the feature again since the Watch 4 series, or better said, since Wear OS. Yeah, okay. Nadia, period tracking. I think the period tracking is coming out with the temperature sensor. The temperature sensor is supposed to come out, well, last year, I think, but realistically it's coming out now. So it's kind of coming out in Q2. Well, they said, the press release said it is coming out in Q2. So that is something, you know, that will be enabled with period tracking. There's an application, I can't remember, there's a collaboration. I have to ask Carla, she's more into that obviously than me, and she would know which application Samsung is working with, third-party application, in order to have this enabled, Nadia. So that's going to come your way. So Pelik, what are you saying? I think the most important one for me is if there's add auto detection for ECG. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, like a notification to alert you that something might be wrong and you should do ECG, like Apple has. Yeah, no, you know what? That's cool. That I agree, because there's a lot of, when you hear these stories, I mean, there's obviously some, you know, there's some marketing involved. God bless the people that have been saved, right? So number one, I know that companies are good at marketing, and I know that they give you some emotional story. Their life has been saved. That's good, but they will give you something that you're like, oh my God, this is wow. So yeah, I think it can save lives in different shapes or form. So, you know, that is pretty cool. So anything else that I haven't covered yet, because these are the 10 points, I picked up for you guys, from you guys. Let me know in the comment section here. We need an app for YouTube with download option. Hassan, I think Hassan, you were in Hanover, right? So it's just, do you mean a native YouTube app, right? So, but is it like, can you really watch a video on your watch? Is it that? I mean, I think it's pretty cool. It's like Star Trek territory, but is it something that you really do, or when you sit in the train that you watch a video and you can download that? Let me know in the comment section. Thomas, ask me. Go. I have a quick question. Thomas is from California, so let me know, Thomas, what is going on in California? I can see rain here in Munich. So how's the weather over there? I know you, Romanian, always remember that you were a big fan of classical timepieces. Are you still wearing ordinary watches, or have you transitioned to smartwatches completely? That is a really, really good question. So I have one classical timepiece still here, and that classical timepiece is here for when I have certain meetings with certain people. So I don't want to get into that too much, but most of the time I wear a smartwatch now, probably 80%. If I have important meetings, like let's say with board members, then yes, I will have that classical timepiece, because unfortunately, and I say unfortunately, people look at that. People will look at that. They will look at what you wear. They will look at what you have on your wrist, and so on and so on. So yes, that is the case. Still the case in terms of traditional companies, in terms of corporations, that when I deal with them in on a certain level, that I have to wear certain stuff. I have to wear a good suit, and I have to wear a good classical timepiece, and I have to be polished like there is no tomorrow. What else? I'd like to see a bigger catalog of exercises in Samsung Health, for example, spinning classes. Yeah, you know, this is kind of, yeah, okay, fair enough, spinning classes and stuff. I mean, I don't do a lot. I go jogging and hiking, and that's pretty much it. And, you know, most of the time I put jogging on, even when I hike. I know it's kind of silly, but I just like, you know, that's just me. I can't be bothered with all this stuff in terms of like, there's so much in that list to scroll. But I mean, at the end of the day, you have a valid point, because if you want to track your workout, right, your specific workout, and you want to have that exquisite sensor, if you like, and you want the calories and so on, and so you should have that workout option you want. What is your choice of headphones? But I've got the Galaxy Buds Pro. So that's what I got in terms of, I try to keep everything in the ecosystem. I think it works well. I think Samsung is getting better. Apple is still good at the ecosystem. Everything works, you know. So that is, I try to have everything at the same ecosystem. Especially, you know, they try to make it work as good as possible, and that's why I have that's why I keep like Samsung phones, Samsung watches, and Samsung earbuds, if you like. What would you like music streaming apps to be able to do on the watch that they don't do today? YouTube Music is still not able to stream outside. I like to be independent when it comes to that. Yes, I know I'm probably one of the few people who don't take out their phone when I go somewhere. Even when I go in a house, I take the rubbish out. I have my LTE watch on me, and I go places, and I don't want to be tied down to my phone. I know everybody has a phone, and everybody says, you know what, you're crazy for leaving your phone. But I find it so much more enjoyable. That's why overheating is also such a big topic to me, or to everybody, because they like to go on a bike and just don't have the phone with them. And if you're then independent and have a standalone watch that lasts for a long time, you know, even better. So that's YouTube Music streaming. That probably would be my wish list number one. Let me see. Want to know about, if you want to know something so that we can, yeah, Akash, we will do that. We need some. Nadia, you're welcome. No problem. We need more watch faces. Satya, let me know if I pronounce that correctly. Satya, need more watch faces rather than downloading from other third-party apps. Yeah, I kind of agree. But then on the other hand, there's a lot of people actually who come out with really good watch faces. I've been contacted by many people who just kind of let me know, tell me what watch faces they're just kind of doing right now. You know, there's some really interesting ones coming out, and they're for free as well. It's not just they want to get your money or whatever. So yeah, sort of agree, sort of disagree, not disagree, but you know, give other people are more creative than Samsung, because Samsung is just basically, you know, I hate the term, but like mainstream. They want to sell as much as possible, so it kind of has to be in one certain line that it hits everybody's nerves somehow. What a standing metric like Apple, okay, my Galaxy Watch 5 Pro is a way getting fixed by Samsung under warranty due to a GPS being way off. Yeah, I heard the GPS. I remember there's a lot of people who said GPS is not that accurate currently, so that's also something that should be fixed. Watch faces, Satya again. Watch faces are very limited and not that much attracting. Yeah, Hassan, PayPal app, that would be great. Any kind of money sending up. But again, that is up to PayPal in that case, right? That is up to PayPal if they want to do this or not. A lot of things are up to the, you know, to the companies itself, because it's a Wear OS wide up. It's not just, and that's the thing, because if Samsung, you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword, if you like. You know, Samsung has gone to Google, or they have this collaboration, and they have Wear OS going on. If they would have kept Tizen, for example, they could have then gone to these separate companies and PayPal, for example, and say, okay, we would like to have XYZ involved. We would like to have XYZ in our Tizen or Galaxy store. Can you do this? We would help you. We have this available, our developer kit, and so on and so on. So that is the downside of Wear OS, because, you know, Samsung is Samsung is tied to Google, right? In order, what can Google do, and how Google is a big company, but they also don't really care about a lot of things, honestly, right? So that, we know that Google is, you know, when you see their products, or, you know, they basically just got rid of their hardware line, like all the Pixel books and what have you. They kind of said, well, we don't care anymore. What if you're one of them that just invested in that, and, you know, I have a Pixel book, so what now? So there's a whole thing with Google, and that's the downside of collaborating with such big companies. At the end of the day, I think it was a great move, and at the end of the day, I think because Samsung did a clever thing here with Google, because they locked each other down. They said, okay, nobody else is supposed to have Wear OS 3.0 or whatever on their watch, no other manufacturer apart from Samsung. So they kind of had half a year head start, if you like. Yes, Akash, thank you, Thomas. Great live stream. Heading out to enjoy the sun. Talk later to you. Enjoy the sun. Akash, the camera app is not available for a lot of phones, even not the budget Samsung ones. Do you think they'll consider that? Nope, not a chance. They want to look, you know, it's not. And there is this famous comedian. He is Romesh is his name. He's a UK guy. Romesh, I can't pronounce his last name. It's an Indian name, but he's really funny. I don't know where he's from, but he's a comedian. He goes on to, he's got big shows, and he said, look, you know, Samsung, in one of his comedian things, he says, like, Samsung is a big corporation, you know, just because you have an Android phone, and he mocks iPhone users and what, but it's not Sam and Young, right? So what Samsung want to do is, it's a huge corporation. They want to sell stuff, right? They have shareholders. They want to have they want to have money coming out, and so on. So they're going to sell stuff, and they want to make sure that you just buy the best phones. If you want to have all the features, then you have to buy a flagship phone, and that's pretty much it. So the answer, that was a long answer, but the short answer is no. The budget Samsung phones will not get that. Forget non-Samsung phones. I mean, those people are kind of, I don't want to say screwed, but they get only half of the functions that a Samsung phone user will get. Satya, they need to fix payment issues with Samsung Pay, and banks are limited, and there's no Samsung Pay in some countries. I agree. Google Pay and Samsung Pay is kind of not working 100% all the time. I had issues with Google Pay. It works good, but Samsung Pay in Germany, I don't use Samsung Pay anymore, but when I set it up a while ago, I could only, they collaborated with a bank and I could only get a prepaid account. So that kind of doesn't make sense to me. I have to put money in before I want to use Samsung Pay. That's kind of negating what I really want to do. If I want to go out shopping and I want to go into the grocery store and I only have $100 in my bank account, but the amount is 102, then I can't pay with Samsung Pay, right? So I don't know. So yes, I agree with that point. Google Pay needs also fixing, is also not perfect. What I would like to see though personally is and that's like a minor function really, like a switch between Samsung Pay and Google Pay, that when you have the option to set it up both Samsung Pay and Google Pay, and when you have the option and Samsung Pay doesn't work, that you at least can switch quickly with the press of a button. I know it's a first world problem, but then you have the option to get Google Pay going, right? So that would be nice to see that. So that's my opinion. So let me know if there's anything else. I don't want to stretch it out too much on a Sunday. I'm going to collect all of your feedback here, and then I will send it off to Samsung, and let's see what happens. You never know, right? They are listening sometimes. Sometimes they're listening, to people like you and I. So that is interesting to see what's going to happen here. Okay, so anything else, let me know. It was nice seeing you again. It was very nice that you joined that live here today with me. I'm going to create some more videos soon. So we're not going to switch over to live, but I just wanted to see what it's like. So thank you for watching. Have a wonderful Sunday. I hope you're having a beautiful day and a beautiful week ahead. And I wish you all the best, right? Thank you for being here. Cheers and peace out as always. Bye.